You never spoke a claim, yet my entire soul echoes as though branded with your name. My surrender to you was not chosen. It was written in the quiet of my heartbeat. Without words, you became the author of chapters I never knew were inside me. Why does your presence bend my will, like branches bowed to the weight of snow? You never asked for devotion, but I built temples of silence in your honor. My freedom feels like a lie when my spirit kneels in your shadow without asking. You became the compass that steers me when I am lost. Why do I crave your gaze like air? As if breathing without it is impossible. You never demanded obedience, yet my soul listens to you more than to me. My surrender was quiet, but it shook the entire foundation of who I thought I was. Without touching me, you carved your place deeper than anyone's hands could reach. Why does it feel like my pulse belongs to you, as though you hold the rhythm of my veins? You never claimed me, yet my heart wears your silence like a crown. My spirit bows because it recognizes you. You never asked for loyalty, yet I cannot imagine betraying the pull of your soul. My freedom became meaningless the moment I tasted your presence. Without demanding, you became the only truth my heart has never doubted. Why does your absence feel like a command I cannot bear to obey? You never whispered the word, mine, yet I live as though you did. My soul bends in surrender the way rivers bend toward the ocean. Without permission, you've taken residence in the most sacred parts of me. Why do I feel like every path I walk is secretly leading back to you? You never claimed authority, yet I bow as if you carry the universe in your hands. My silence belongs to you more than my voice ever could. Without asking, you've become the storm I'd gladly drown in. Why does your presence steal the weight from my body but place it on my heart? You never asked for my heart, yet it beats in rhythm with your shadow. My soul weaves itself around you like threads of destiny. Without trying, you've taken my nights hostage with your memory. Why do I feel like I'm bound to you by chains only I can see? You never demanded faith, yet my soul prays only in your direction. My surrender feels ancient, like it began long before this lifetime, without asking. You've become the silence I fear and the silence I crave. Why does your touchless presence leave scars I never want to heal? You never spoke love, but my heart understood it in your silence. My spirit bows because resisting you feels like resisting gravity itself. Without permission, you've etched your name into the rhythm of my dreams. Why does my heart tremble at your absence as though you still stand before me? You never claimed ownership, yet I walk as though I carry your mark. My surrender wasn't stolen. It was awakened by your presence. Without trying, you became the sanctuary and the prison I cannot escape. Why does it feel like I was designed to belong to you? You never asked, but my soul signed its vows to you in silence. My freedom evaporates whenever your memory breathes near me. Without claiming me, you've become the root of every decision I make. Why do I ache as though I've been yours across lifetimes, unspoken? You never demanded sacrifice, yet I surrender every piece of myself daily. My surrender feels like destiny's handwriting etched into my skin. Without asking, you've become the truth that shapes my lies. Why does it feel like your silence speaks louder than my entire existence? You never begged for love, but mine bends toward you relentlessly. My soul kneels not from weakness. Without permission, you became the fire that burns without consuming. Why does my heart rest only in the weight of your unseen hands? You never asked me to wait, but I linger like eternity is owed to you. My freedom feels incomplete when it doesn't circle back to you. Without claiming, you've become the ruler of battles I never planned to fight. Why does your absence feel like a crown of thorns I will forever wear? You didn't beg for my love, yet it rests in your hands as if it never belonged anywhere else. Without effort, you turned me into a prisoner who doesn't even dream of escaping. Why does my heart obey you more faithfully than it listens to me? You own me quietly, let the moon owns the tide, without permission, without apology. My soul is drawn to you as if you carry the map it has been searching for. Without chains, you hold me. Without words, you silence me. Without trying, you conquer me. Why do I feel like destiny signed my name under yours long before I was born? You never asked for loyalty, yet it flows from me like a river that refuses to stop. My freedom bows before you, as if your presence alone commands my surrender. Without touching me, you've already left fingerprints on every corner of my soul. Why do I feel like my heart beats in rhythm only when you breathe near me? You didn't take me. I gave myself away. Spirit bends in your direction like the earth bends to gravity, inevitable, unresisting. Without trying, you became my addiction, my weakness, and my strength all at once. I crave your silence more than I crave my own peace. My heart doesn't know where it ends and where you begin anymore. Without promises, you begin the eternity I cannot imagine. Losing, why does it feel like I wear invisible chains shaped by your existence? You never needed to fight for me. My soul surrendered before you even noticed. My surrender was silent, but it has screamed your name ever since. Without asking, you built a home inside me that no one else can enter. Why do I ache for you like you're the wound at once? You never asked for my devotion, but I hand it over daily like an offering. My soul feels sculpted in your shape, as though you've owned it for centuries. Without trying, you rule my nights, my mornings, and everything in between. Why does it feel like my veins carry your name instead of blood? You never asked for my trust. Yet I gave you the most fragile pieces of me. My silence belongs to you more than my words ever will. Without touching, you awaken storms inside me that only you can calm. Why does your absence feel like the heaviest chain I've ever carried? You never needed to demand. My heart obeys you out of love, not force. My freedom became meaningless the moment I felt your presence. Without permission, you rewrote the story of who I thought I was. Why does my heart whisper your name, even when my mind begs it not to? You never asked me to wait, yet my soul stands in eternal patience for you. My surrender was inevitable, written into the stars the moment they formed. Without claiming me, you've become the only crown my heart will ever wear. Why do I dream of you like you're the owner of every hidden corner inside? May, you never needed to hold my hand. Your silence already tethered me to you. My spirit bows not out of weakness, but because it recognizes you as its truth. Without asking, you became the gravity I orbit around endlessly. Why does it feel like your soul carved a place in mine before I even existed? You never demanded my loyalty, but I gave it as though you were my king. My surrender wasn't a choice. It was destiny unfolding in silence. Without effort, you became the axis my whole world spins around. Why do I ache like I've been yours for lifetimes I can't remember? Never claimed my heart that it betrays me by worshipping you in every beat. My soul isn't mine anymore. It whispers your name like a prayer. It cannot stop. Without asking, you planted roots in me, deeper than time itself. Why does your gaze feel like both a cage and a sanctuary? You never took my freedom, yet I gave it to you willingly. The fabric of my being. Without permission, you became the reason I can't imagine belonging anywhere else. Why do I feel like my every step was destined to lead me to you? You never begged for love. My soul aches like it owes you debts from lifetimes past. Without asking, you stood the silence between my breaths. Why does it feel like you own me more deeply than I own myself? You never needed to ask, because my heart was already yours before you arrived. Why do I feel like you own me without even asking, as if my heart silently signed a contract with your eyes? You never claimed me, yet my soul kneels before your presence, like it has belonged to you for centuries. Without a word, you marked me. Now I carry your invisible signature on every heartbeat I take. My freedom dissolves in your silence, as though you tether me with chains softer than silk, but heavier than destiny. You never demanded loyalty, yet my spirit follows you, as if I have no choice but to obey. Sometimes I wonder if you're a spell I accidentally touched, because I walk like I belong only to you. You never asked, but my heart carved your name into its walls, leaving no room for escape. Why does it feel like I'm bound to you when you've never even whispered the word? Mine. You breathe, and it's enough to remind me that my soul dances only to the rhythm of your existence. You didn't have to claim me. My own soul surrendered before I even realized what was happening. Your silence feels like a command I cannot resist, as though you already own everything inside me. Even when you're not shackled by your memory, like you rule my every thought. Without asking, you become the reason my heart betrays me every time it beats. I never agreed to be yours, yet my soul cannot deny the way you dominate my every breath. Oh. You wave scars in my spirit answers only to you, even though you never demanded it. It's like destiny gave you ownership. Without a crown, you rule me. Without words, you command me. Without effort, you own me. I thought I was strong, yet in front of you, I am nothing but surrendered weakness. Every heartbeat feels like a tribute offered to you. Though you never asked for my devotion, why do I feel like your shadow, destined to follow even when you've never looked back? My soul bends at your presence, as if it remembers something my mind has forgotten. Without claiming me, you've built a throne inside my chest and rule it without resistance. You never promised me eternity, yet my heart waits as though you already gave it. You didn't steal me, yet I feel taken. You didn't bind me, yet I cannot escape. My freedom feels like an illusion when your memory dictates the rhythm of my days. Why do I feel as if I'm branded by you, though you never touched me with fire? You don't speak ownership, yet everything inside me whispers your name in surrender. My soul answers questions you never asked, devoting itself to you without permission. You never needed chains, because the gravity of your being holds me stronger than steel. Why does your absence feel like punishment and your presence feel like salvation? Without trying, you rule me. My heart is both your prisoner and your role, worshipper. You never asked for sacrifice, yet I burn myself daily just to keep your memory alive. My spirit betrays me, loving you in silence, while pretending I still belong to myself. Why do I feel like your invisible hand guides my choices, even when you're nowhere near? I never gave permission, yet you've stolen entire galaxies inside me with just a look. Without asking, you own the version of me I can't show anyone else. You stand in silence, and still I feel commanded, as though your existence is law. You didn't conquer me, yet here I am, bowing in the ruins of my resistance. My pulse doesn't belong to me anymore. It races at the thought of your nearness. Without demanding, you taught my soul how to kneel, and it never stood again. Why do I dream of you like you're my fate? Even when fate never spoke your name, you never claimed power, yet you ruled the battlefield inside my chest every night. I thought I was... Otherwise, I was always yours. Without words, you built chains around me that I never want to escape. You never owned me. Yet I feel sold to your shadow for eternity. Why does it feel like destiny chose you as the master of my unspoken truths? My surrender was unintentional, but now I realize it was always inevitable. You own me in the quiet way oceans own the shore, without asking, without mercy. Without trying, you became the gravity that holds every broken piece of me together. Why does your silence echo louder than my own screams for freedom? You never asked, yet I gave you my eternity in the shape of loyalty. You own me like the night owns the stars. Silently, completely, without permission. My soul bends toward you the way flowers bend toward sunlight, unconsciously and endlessly. Why do I feel like your absence is imprisonment and your presence is release? Without claiming, you became the only truth my heart has ever believed in. You didn't fight for me, yet my soul surrendered as though you already won.